We're back, everybody. Batman in review. It's been quite a while since 2022's The Batman.
Whoa!
But we're back, everybody.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa, it's like looking into a wiener mirror. Joey.
Holy hell. For audio listeners, I want you to know that Greg and Nick are wearing matching sweaters.
Can't wait for this to go to the internet.
Oh, we're live, everybody, for Kind of Funny members.
Want me to be on this show?
Oh, man, we're having technical difficulties off of the rip. This is about to be quite an episode of In Review, so strap in. Of course, In Review is a show where we rank, review, and recap different movie franchises. We have been ranking, reviewing, and recapping every Batman movie over the last couple years, and we did the Joker one, so of course that means we need to do Joker, Folie, Deux, a.k.a.
Joker 2. I'm not giving you the subtitle. Doesn't deserve it.
Well, I will, though, because I just like saying the words. But we're doing this today, everyone. We're going to review this movie, so strap in, get excited. This is one of those ones that, like, I don't know how this show's going to go. I got a vibe now with a Coke in front of Greg, but, like,
In review, Folie Quattro. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean,
Folie
Greg.
4, Joey.
Before the show started, I did tell Tim, I was like, oh, I never sit next to you in review. And Benny Be Good in the chat says, can you imagine if Joey's sitting between them? This is the best place for me to be in this in review. And thank you for that perspective change.
Chris Ank in the chat says, Tim, I'm just letting you know I turned off listening to the Challenger soundtrack because Nick said this is going to be an all-timer. So yeah, there's some lofty expectations for this one. Will we live up to it? I'm sure that we will. I'm sure that we will. A little bit of housekeeping for you on the in review front. Of course, you're watching Batman in review, but every couple weeks we change what franchise we are talking about. And next week we're going to be doing The Shining in review. It'll be The Shining and then Dr. Sleep because our new up-and-comer Madeline Stanley is going to be joining us next week. And she loves horror movies. She loves The Shining, from what I hear.
She loves Mike Flanagan. We were trying to figure out a way to get Mike Flanagan in there.
And Mike Flanagan directed Dr. Sleep. So that's how we're all doing it. I've never seen The Shining, so.
Oh, you're going to like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn excited about all of that.
They call it the Joker, the Folie, Deux of Jack Nicholson movies.
Dang. Wow. There's a connection there.
Joker.
Yeah.
He connects us all.
Yeah. We're going to have a conversation later about Madam Web. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
Thinking about it? Thinking about this movie?
What did IGN fucking rate this?
I don't know. Can you look that up?
And Joker, Folie, and Deux.
My first thought walking out of this movie last night was,
They did not
Madam
give
Web is a palate cleanser.
I'm going to give it a 5.
They gave it a 5.
A 5. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Drummer Boy, Casey Andrew, James Hastings, and Nathan Lamoth, and Carl Jacobs. You really are the best of us. Of course, being Kind of Funny members allows you to watch the shows live as we record them. You get things ad-free. You get daily exclusive Greg Ways, all that fun stuff. And, of course, you don't get the ads like our presenting sponsors today, New Worlds, Eternum, and Shady Rays. But we'll tell you about those later for everyone else. Today,
You didn't even introduce us, Tim.
I didn't. I wonder why. You know, I'm Tim. Joining me today is Joey.
I can't do this sober.
Oh, damn. Not even on camera.
Not even the dignity to give me the one when I'm being introduced fucking Roger.
Because we're making the
Why
content.
do I do this goddamn show?
I don't know what you guys want.
I pulled a White Claw in my pocket. My leg's been really cold the whole time I'm sitting here. And I'm not even getting my camera shot. Now I'm mad at Roger and Andy.
You know, Joey, if you put on one of our awesome pieces of merch from 2 months ago,
Yeah.
it could be the three of us.
Maybe stop supporting Abercrombie and Fitch. All right? Start supporting kindoffunny.com.
Holy shit.
Bad enough I got Hans Molman over here. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hans Molman.
What is happening?
I don't know,
We're
Joey.
reviewing Joker
And also, I think before we even introduce these fucking hooligans over here, I wanted to be explicitly clear that normally on Batman in Review, Andy Cortez is part of the group.
Yeah.
But Andy's at a wedding, so he can't be here. So Joey is in his spot. And you didn't need to be here. I'm so sorry, Joey. In so many ways, for the movie and for having to be sitting next to the Big Daddy himself, Greg Miller.
Hi, how are you? I'm screen capping the Ghostbusters IGN review and the review for Folie Deux on IGN, just to remind everybody that there's no fucking justice.
There's no justice, no peace. We also have the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hi, Tim. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm very excited to get into this.
I'm super excited.
So let's go. We're talking about Joker, Folie à Deux, with a runtime of 2 hours and 18 minutes. It was released on October 4th, 2024. It was directed by Todd Phillips, who began his career in 1993 and directed films in the 2000s, such as Road Trip, Old School, Starsky and Hutch, School for the Scoundrels, and then grew to
What was that last one?
School for Scoundrels.
School for the
Scoundrels.
It sounded like you said sit down girls. I was like, I don't know what that is.
He came to wider prominence in the early 2010s for directing what, Greg?
Old School.
Hangover trilogy.
See, I got hung up because when the Hangover thought I kept saying that in the beginning, right? And I'm juiced up on Coca-Cola and hate for IGN's movie reviews. But I remember him distinctly in Old School. So then you said Old School, and I was like, "Oh wait, it's Old School." And then I must have been wrong about The Hangover. But then you had me second guessing it.
In 2019, he co-wrote and directed the psychological thriller film Joker, which went on to earn Phillips 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay. His second, third, and fourth Academy Award nominations, after also being nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. For what, Nick?
Oof, crap. I don't know.
Borat.
Okay. You know what's so funny is I would have put dollars to donuts that he directed Wedding Crashers, and he did not.
Who did?
David Dobkins,
Oh, the Dop.
the doppelganger.
I'm waiting
The Doppler
for
radar.
Dobkins in review. You know what I mean?
One day. I love Wedding Crashers.
I would have sworn he did that, and I was waiting for you to say it, but no, it's David Dobkin who directed also Eurovision,
Oh,
which I did not like that movie.
Oh, the
Rachel
Netflix movie?
McAdams.
Yeah, the Netflix
Will
one with
Ferrell.
Rachel McAdams and Will
enjoyed
Ferrell
it.
was fine. R.I.P.D. also King Arthur legend. I did like his King Arthur, but that has nothing to do with this movie at all.
No.
Period.
The music was done by Hilder, and I have no idea how to say that. That's I don't even know what these characters are.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best here. Guana Dottir. For her score for Todd Phillips' Joker, she won the Academy Award for Best Original Score and the BAFTA Award for Best Original Music, making her the first solo female composer to win in all three, and the Golden Globes as well. She's also known for her work on Chernobyl on HBO, which also got her a Primetime Emmy.
Yo,
and
for real,
BAFTA
I've never
and a
seen that
Grammy.
symbol before in my entire life.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
that D,
right?
That's wild. I gotta figure out what this person's from. Where's she from?
Man, that's even different than the ones we're
Shit,
seeing.
isn't Icelandic.
Icelandic.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh, which then makes
Roger,
sense
ring up Iceland for me.
because I think the Eurovision movie. Wait,
No, we're off topic. She didn't
Different?
do Eurovision at all.
but aren't they from Iceland?
But they are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
A
just
lot of
anecdotal.
connections here, everybody. Pay attention. Jack Nicholson's the Joker. This one had a budget of $200 million.
There
Really?
has to be a better
Yeah.
way to spend
Which
$200 million.
is wild because
Really?
the first movie had a budget of $60 million. The first movie with a budget of $60 million went on to make over $1 billion.
Sure.
Over $1 billion.
Any guesses as to what the La La Land budget was?
City of Stars.
Like 120.
$30 million.
Shut
really?
up.
Yeah, that's what it is. So just a quick Google search here. Massively, it's crazy how they did a full musical with a bunch of dancers and stuff and only spent $30 million.
That's what?
And how the songs amplified it.
Oh, it must
And
have been
told
the
the story.
Gaga.
I mean,
You think
yeah,
they're
Lady
paying
Gaga
her
must
a
have been
lot?
$100 million.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the hell else they spent money on.
That's crazy.
In this movie.
And then the box office for this one.
It's the cigarette budget. That's what it is.
There's a lot.
Variety
I'll
posted.
tell you
Actually,
what,
honestly, God, they
you
probably
know-
paid a lot of money for that.
Let's just be straight to Nick. Like, obviously, cigarettes look cool, but they're bad for you. Everybody knows that or whatever, right? But these cigarettes look like the most satisfying cigarettes in the world. You know what I mean?
It's the way he smokes them. 'Cause he goes like,
But he's like ashing it all the way out. And you're like,
He
wow,
did the
how is the
Ripley-
cigarette the only cool thing in this movie?
he did the cool part. There was that one cool shot where he did the Ripley from Aliens. Remember when she's like off in the distance, like thinking about all the past trauma and the horrible shit, and the fact that her daughter like went looking for her and like died, and she doesn't. And they just had that one shot of her, and the ash is like 5 fucking inches long. He had that moment in this too.
Yeah.
That was the coolest part of this movie.
Yeah.
Variety wrote a piece today about the outlook of the box office for this movie,
We
saying
can't let them sit next to each other. This is like we need the teacher that
Roger, I
separates
think I
them.
speak for everyone watching when I say just give it this shot and then put than Pip, real small.
Yeah.
You know
Always
what I mean? This is where the action's gonna be happening. All right, everybody. When your camera's not on, I was gonna say, what are the Wiener Bros doing? What are the Wiener Brothers up to? We're over here wienering out. That's what we're doing.
Arf, arf.
In fact, if you're watching right now, I urge you to wiener out too.
Yeah. Do it.
Todd Phillips' Joker Folie Deux sports a bleak 36% critic score and a 36% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's even lower than it was when I saw it. That's impressive.
Box office projections are falling too. Deadline projected Friday morning the film could possibly get to a 50 million opening, down from a 55 million to 60 million projection 3 days earlier, which itself was down from a 70 million prediction 3 weeks ago. It is tracking to open to less than The Flash and similar to the Marvels. Both of those being some of the worst big.
That's
blockbuster
outrageous that
movie.
the Marvels opened that badly.
Yeah, and
That
there's
was
a
a
lot of
fun
factors.
movie.
Yeah, but there was the writer strikes; they couldn't promote it. There was a lot of things around it that caused that issue. But yeah, this
Also, go woke, go broke. Am I right?
all of that too, which was an issue, not for the reasons he's saying it.
Today.
But yeah, this is it's probably going to be 50% below the first film's preview earnings. So
I could tell when Chris Anka just clicked off. I could feel the moment of him just like,
You know,
that's
he
it,
loves
I'm
my
done.
jokes.
Back to the
He
challenge.
loves it when I bring up.
Nick, I want to start with you. What did you think of Joker 2?
Lord. I hated this movie. There were multiple times during the screening that I was in where I legitimately thought to myself, if I didn't have to watch this for work, I would have walked out of this theater. And there was a moment where I was going to try to get Dee to come to the screener with me, and I called her afterward and was like, you dodged the biggest bullet here, because I could absolutely see us. I could see a world where we didn't do this, and we rented this on a Sunday, and I'm like very excited because, as you know, I love Joker. And we spend $20 to rent this, and 5 minutes in, maybe 20 minutes in, we go, well, that was a dud. We're done.
To jump in, I would have loved her perspective on it, because you made a joke at the top about La La Land, right?
Yes.
And they actually had dancers, but like, you know, she performed in stuff like this, and so to
She
see this
performed
and
lots
how
of things
just
like
like
this, yeah.
flat all of the musical numbers are here, and how they are clearly trying to be like this musical interlude thing, but it's just not fun to watch. The choreography is fine.
Well, there is no choreography for the most part because there are no dancers.
They do this at some point, and then they come back the other way, and I'm like, damn, I couldn't do that. I tell you right now, Tim.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that.
It's true.
Well, you know, if I paid you $200 million, could you do it? You think you can figure that out?
Maybe.
The thing is, the movie is two movies, or it's trying to be two movies, right? One is a sequel to The Joker, which it succeeds in doing, right? Everything that has to do with Arthur Fleck, everything that has to do with the asylum Arkham Asylum that he's in, all that stuff for me worked. Actually, I would take that back. It's three movies. It's the courtroom drama, which does not work for me at all. And then it's the musical, which seems very shoehorned in, and just honestly a poor choice. I cannot imagine how the studio saw the dailies for this and didn't immediately go, hey, we got to rethink this. Or we got to give you $50 million more and hire Damien Chazelle and make this entire movie a musical with all original music and all original dance numbers, and maybe even recast Joaquin Phoenix's voice, because, and again, no disrespect to Emma Stone or to Ryan Gosling, they weren't the best singers on the planet, but oh my God, they look like Broadway musical stars compared to Joaquin Phoenix. He is just so. There's just very, very little for you to like in this movie, other than the production design and the cinematography of the realistic moments, which I thought was stunning. I thought that the cinematographer shot the hell out of this, and the look of the movie is awesome. And if they could somehow make the look of this movie and just put Batman in it, I think it would be fucking rad. But because I think it's a very stark contrast between Matt Reeves, the Batman, and this. I love the look of what they've achieved here. I just really never want to watch this movie ever again. And I honestly think that IGN giving it a 5 out of 10 was being nice.
Thank you.
Greg.
I mean, I would go as far as it's just bullshit on IGN's count, but I'll stop there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what about Joker?
Joker, I didn't expect it when I went in to watch it, but so many other superhero movies, there's movies in general I've watched throughout the years, and you get a montage, a news report, a flashback, or something like that, and it's super quick, and you're in and out. And I've known multiple times I've said, man, I would love to see a movie about that. Like what that just happened there. That's a really cool idea, right? And Joker did that. Joker 2, Folie, Deux does that for me, where, hey, what if the Joker went on trial and defended himself? It's like, that's a cool concept. And it gives me what should have been a montage as a movie. And I go, wow, this is a supremely boring fucking premise. Like, what is the point of this movie? What are we doing in this movie?
I honestly think the entire point of the movie it explores a couple interesting themes, which it does poorly, but I give them kudos for exploring the concept of, like, you know, us as a society celebrating that level of psychoses, right? As we do, we tend to do that. We tend to put them on a pedestal, like, you know, become fans ironically of things or whatever, and for whatever he represented, and then honestly not being that thing. I thought that was interesting to explore, and then obviously,
but so underbaked, so undercooked,
very underbaked, very undercooked. And I honestly think they were like, "Don't worry, the ending's going to save it." And
the whole fucking
I
thing
just
is
don't
like
think it did.
An argument for, you know, the adage of show don't tell. Like when Arthur gets to the end, he's like, "There was no Joker, it was just me," or whatever. It's like, I haven't seen you wrestling with that concept throughout this film. I've just seen you being the same guy you were before. So I, as a viewer of the first movie, was never like, "Oh, there's a split personality, there's a Joker." No, you're just this guy. So it's like.
But even the narrative, even the starting point of being like, his defense is going to be that he has split personalities. I was like, why? This guy's clearly insane. He dressed like a clown and killed 5 people on live television. All you got to do is like, the guy's crazy. That's it. There's no split personalities. He's just the Joker. He thinks he's this crazy person. That's it. I'm going to simplify the whole movie. But instead, they spend 2 hours trying to fucking figure out if he's got a split personality and is crazy, or is just, I guess, kind of crazy and accountable for his own deeds. It's kind of weird and mild.
The movie is indefensibly bad. That's why, again, with a 5 out of 10 from IGN and a 4 out of 10 for Ghostbusters, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. And you take the Ghostbusters out of it, I just don't understand. Like I was getting more and more angry on the drive home, trying to find something that I was like, because I like Joker 1. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed that film, but it's like, didn't need a sequel, and then we get here and it's like, yeah, I definitely didn't need this. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's nothing happening in this movie. It's all just boring bullshit.
Joy.
I will admit that I walked in not wanting to like it. I didn't like the first Joker. I didn't really care about the trailer. This was not a movie that I was like prepped to be a fan of. So I will admit that I had that going in. Like, I didn't necessarily go in with an open mind. But I also think that I took it at like, I just know myself and I know what I like, and I knew that wasn't going to be it. It's bad, but I think even more, it's just kind of boring. Like, I just didn't find myself caring about anything. This is the first time I've ever pulled out my phone, like, in the middle of the movie. There were 2 other people in the theater with me, and I was like, I don't even really care. You guys are way in front of me and way behind me.
Right.
I'm going to be on my phone. It's either this or I just fall asleep. So, like, I need to stay awake. So I'm going to check my phone every once in a while. I don't really, like, I just don't care about any of this, and they don't make me care. And I was, like, kind of hoping that I would walk out feeling differently. I just don't care. The only things that, like, kind of caught my attention is Lady Gaga had a couple of costuming choices that I thought were fun. And that's kind of it. I feel like, and I like musicals, so it's like, maybe this will do it. And I just don't think they really gave me anything. They also made her, like, not a great singer, which is crazy because it's Lady Gaga.
And they did the same thing to Joaquin Phoenix, right? Like, I like Walk the Line. Like, he was good in Walk the Line. Like, you know, he was Johnny Cash.
Like, I will disagree with Joey a little bit in that I think Lady Gaga great singer, not a musical singer. Hip, like, she's more pop.
But she does, like, the standard stuff with, like, Tony Bennett. Like,
yeah, I guess that's true.
I think that she would be a competent stunt casting.
I mean, when she was cast, I was like, oh, that's a great choice. But in this, it just feels like so unbelievably underutilized in every number that she's in. Like, there's the great number that we saw in the trailer where they're up on the rooftops and it's clearly a set, but it looks like a set from like a 1950s or 60s film. I thought that was going to be the entire movie, and we were occasionally going to dip back into Arkham, but it's the opposite. And even that was boring as fuck because there's no real purpose for any of these songs.
And it's back to, like, it's back to La La Land, or as a comparison, or any musical, I guess. But, like, when you drop the songs in there, they're driving home the theme or the story or the narrative. Right. Whereas this is just, now we're dancing. And, like, there's one where she shoots him or whatever, but it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I also, what was I going to say? Just left my brain. Clearly was important.
Just like this movie will in the end. Timothy, what did you think?
I'm definitely not nearly as low as you guys are.
IGN Defender.
I would not say that I am higher though, but I just don't feel like I'm as low. This movie, I think that there is a great movie somewhere. This is not it. I do not think that I would go as far as saying that it is bad. And like, I do not think it is like atrocious or anything. And I feel like there is a world that somebody explains this movie to me and what happens. And I'm like, that's awesome. But then when you see it, I'm like, it's not. Because I think that what they were trying to do, and like the whole point of the story of the Joker in-world movie being a representation of the Joker movie we saw and the reaction it got, and kind of using Harley's character as representation of, you know, so many of the internet commenters and people that we don't like, and the scary dangers that like that type of cult of personality can result in, and needing Arthur to be the Joker when he isn't the Joker and he never was, and everyone's trying to make this split personality, make all this stuff. That's not what it is. He is Arthur Fleck, and nobody wants Arthur Fleck. And at the end of the movie, literally, they prove that they want the Joker, and people want the Joker. And Todd Phillips didn't want to make a Joker movie. I think that's kind of interesting. I don't think that everything I just said was very well portrayed in the movie, but I think that there was something there. I get why this movie exists, and I get why Todd directed it the way that he did. I mean, I literally don't think money's the answer.
For WB, I think it is. Not for Todd.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that this is a fuck you to
originally,
WB.
didn't they want to do this as like a Broadway show?
I have no idea.
I think that, there was some interview that said that he was like, yeah, we wanted to do this as like a small cabaret show with the actors and like tour it or something like crazy like that, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And weird and silly. And I guess WB was like, no, you got to do a movie.
I mean, that to me just sounds like a different project, because the music stuff in this is like, I love music shit. I love the musical bits. Everything we saw in the trailer, I was like, oh, just like you, Nick, there's something here.
Right.
There's nothing there. It's distracting. It's weird. There's way too many music moments that just have no point of like interest to me of like what it's doing for furthering the plot. What you're saying about there just being the 3 different movies in one. It's like, I feel like anytime we're in one of those movies, I wanted to be in another one. The moment we're in the other one, I was like, I want to be in another one. But I was just trying to find the good in it, and it wasn't there. I think Joaquin Phoenix's performance was great. I was incredibly let down by Lady Gaga, and I can't believe that. I love her. I love how she sings. I love how she moves. I love her whole vibe. In this movie, I was like, what are you trying to do? Because it's not working for me. Like, if she wins awards for this, like, I think it's going to be because of her name. Like, I don't think
anybody's going to.
I don't think anyone's getting nominated for this because they'd have to pay for that, and I don't think this movie is going to make its money back. So they're not putting any money into for your consideration ads come Oscar season. I would doubt. But I don't think it's Lady Gaga. I think because I love A Star Is Born.
Maybe some people should have gotten on the Star Is Born hater train earlier. That's all I'm saying.
I like A Star Is Born. I think that it's the writing of the movie and the concept of the character, and they just didn't do anything with it. It's her change of being like, oh, I just don't like you anymore is so fucking random.
Well, he's not the Joker, right?
Yeah, but again, yes. But why was he not the Joker? At what point did he have a crisis of conscience where he's like, you know what?
No, I'm with you again. Don't tell.
He just 1 second's like,
I was going to yell at all of
this.
you, but I'm not. There is no Joker. It's just me.
Why?
Because he wanted Arthur Fleck to matter. Like, I feel like it's a reverse of the first movie of like him wanting Arthur to matter and then eventually being laughed at by the talk show host and him killing him. And then this, it's like he becomes the talk show host, and then the Arthur Flecks of the world kill him, you know? And again, I'm not justifying this as like, oh, fuck, they pulled it off, because they didn't. But like, that's what they were going for. And I feel like there's enough in this movie to back that up that I'm like, there is a point to this movie. I just don't think that clearly, with the reaction to this, it did not get through to people. And I also think it seems batshit insane for them to make a Joker sequel that's saying fuck you to the fans of the first Joker movie, which was already divisive.
I watched a whole takedown of this today, or like a 7-minute video essay about this is Todd Phillips and them being like, fuck you if you really connected with the Joker the first time around. Like, Arthur literally runs away at one point from the fans that saved him, right? Like, we don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
But again, I'm with you. Just like, it's
nonsense
fine to break that down, but like, it's not what the film, I think, presents as and gives you anything there when I'm watching it.
I also think it's interesting that as something that was paraded around as this is a musical, that like, I don't feel like any of the musical numbers are memorable, except for the fact that when the Saints go marching in is like the thing that got stuck in my head more than anything else. And I'm like, oh, that's not even the musical part. of the movie.
First off, I love musicals, and I was very much looking forward to seeing what they would do with this. And I think there's an alternate world where they went all in on this. And when there's that moment where he first starts singing, I think the very first musical number you see is when he's like watching the TV and he starts dancing around the little area. And it's how they did it was they were like, well, just have the camera be on a steady rig and we'll choreograph it in a little bit as he's walking around and kind of goes on the table. And you see the guy back there. Make sure you see the guy. Make sure you see the guy every time he's singing. Because the guy's back there every single time.
There's a weird little smile.
The guy with a weird smile, and he's laughing a little bit. Oh. And then he just comes back and he's back to the TV. There's an alternate world where like Damien Chazelle did this, where it's a fucking incredible Busby Berkeley number, and we're in that forever, and that's just his psychoses until something knocks him out of it. But man, they just didn't want to go there.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't want this to be a musical. Like, this is not a musical. It's a movie that has random ass music moments.
So this is what I was talking about. So apparently they were like, let's have it be a Broadway show and just to do something crazy with it.
It seems like that was originally the idea until COVID. Like they were actually working on this to make this a thing. They weren't going to do Broadway because they were like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix can't do Broadway.
Yeah, he can't do that big.
But they were like, let's do a smaller show. Yeah, so you're right on.
Which would have been interesting, and actually a very interesting way to
actually make it a musical. Would have been like, commit, make it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if they had done that, made it a Broadway show, and then you tour it on Broadway, and then you bring it back with Joaquin. That would, as a movie, would have been incredible. But also, just look, this is a juxtaposition of two genres that just are. I'm not gonna say they don't go together, but they're really hard to put together and really hard to make work because you have the musical, which is the pinnacle of, let's be honest, like optimism and happy-go-lucky and suspension of disbelief, and then you have him getting the shit beat out of him in a fucking shower, and it's like Shawshank Redemption style. I don't know how you put those together. I don't know any. I mean, maybe there's a competent director that could have done that, but I think it was outside of Todd Phillips' his abilities.
It really feels like he has a deep hatred for superheroes and superhero stories and superhero movies and all that. And I'm just like, that's not something I'm interested in from these things.
No,
and I think that's an unfortunate place we're in, especially with DC movies, with how they've been. And like, I love that this didn't start with the DC.
This is not a DC.
Stay away from it, man. I think there's some wise calls there. But we're gonna get into the plot of this movie right after a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by New World Eternum. New World Eternum is a thrilling action RPG experience for console and PC players with a vibrant world, vast and beautiful setting, dynamic real-time action combat, and the freedom for players to choose how to forge their destiny. Combat is skill-based and dynamic, incorporating swords, guns, and sorcery so that you can build one character to rule them all as you explore Eternum and unravel the mysteries of the supernatural island that you can't leave. You love playing RPGs alone? You can in New World Eternum, or play cooperatively with your friends as you complete quests, get better gear, and level up. Greg played this at Summer Game Fest on PlayStation 5 and was caught off guard by how much he enjoyed it and how many hours he said he could see himself sinking into the final product. There's boss fights, cool enemies, crossplay, resource gathering, and crafting. So yeah, this sounds like a Greg game. Pre-order New World Eternum now on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or S to get the Azoth Stalker Wolf mount and prepare for launch on October 15th.
This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Durable frames and world-class optics for all outdoor adventures. With an extensive array of styles and colors, you're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. Y'all know Tim has been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and he's having a great experience wearing Shady Rays when he's out and about looking dope. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That's shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades.
Nick, how'd this movie start? With a cartoon. Everybody, the Looney Tunes theme song.
My Shadow and Me.
When it first started, I was like, I'm in. This is going to be cool. By the time the animated bit ends, I'm like, oh, this is going to be indicative of this movie.
Yeah,
like, it's
me too.
Great
So
ideas,
long.
and it's just not nailing it, man. Like,
Not entertaining
what?
at all. Zero value from any sort of like deep thematic level or entertainment level. I'm just like, I hate this. I did not like it.
Did not like it.
Yeah.
Well, what the value is, or the theme, right, is that the shadow is the Joker persona and it's stealing.
Oh, I understand it.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah, I get it, but it just doesn't. It's just not interesting. That just doesn't work. Nothing in this movie interests me at all from any perspective that's deep. And again, I bring up Shawshank Redemption, which has every bit is a more violent, a more shocking, and a more deep movie than this. And I watch that. I would watch that movie 5 more times as opposed to watching this movie.
Sure.
I would rather watch the Argyle and the Speak No Evil trailer for 2.5 hours than watch this again.
Wow.
Have you watched Argyle?
No.
Just the trailers.
The trailers that they shoved down our throats.
Oh, I didn't watch Argyle. I watched the other one he did, the one with the team of people.
Kingsman?
An ungentlemanly something or other conduct.
Oh, yeah.
Argyle's the one with Henry Cavill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did another movie with
Dua Lipa.
Guy Ritchie. And they put the team together and they had to go. It was fucking horrible. It was not good either. What was it not gonna? Oh, he's doing the plot, right? Or am I doing the plot?
I think I do the plot, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh, do you do Batman plot? Go for it.
I usually.
Anytime
do.
Greg's
Yeah.
on and it's DC, he usually.
Go for it, Greg. Go for
So
it.
yes, like you said, there was a cartoon, My Shadow and Me, starring the Joker. As we already said, we go through. It's Arthur Fleck, of course, as Joker, but then dealing with the fact that the shadow gets bigger, yada yada yada. But by the time the shadow decides to go away, it's just Fleck getting the shit kicked out of him, and we go to Arkham State Hospital, of course, right? A nice little twist here on Arkham Asylum and everything else. And you know, everybody's not nice there, Joey. Of course,
Shocking.
we do get the guy I like, Brendan Gleeson.
Mad Eye Moody.
Mm,
Fucking
yeah.
love
Of
this
course,
guy.
we all know him as Frank from 28 Days Later, but sure, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Mad
Yeah,
Eye
that's
Moody from some independent
definitely-
film nobody's seen.
That's
no big
definitely
deal.
the franchise people pull from.
He's great in this. I thought he was a bright spot. I enjoy that
I
guy's
agree.
performance, and so his, I'm a shitty guard, but I'm also nice to everybody, but also whatever. Yeah.
I'll say between him and Catherine Keener,
Yeah.
they did a lot of the heavy lifting of this film
Yeah.
for me.
And of course, as you're saying, that's what's happening. He shows up. They get Fleck out. You got a joke for us today? Everybody keeps asking, Arthur, you got a joke? Arthur, hey, I'll give you a smoke if you got a joke. But they don't have no jokes. He's quiet the entire time.
But he's really skinny.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
that's good.
talk for like the first 10 minutes of
Well, he's
the
on
movie.
meds.
Yeah, he's doing his meds, doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, so he's not doing his laugh. He's not
Still
telling
has
his
his
jokes. He's
weird
got
back
his
situation going on.
scoliosis.
But even that, I'm like, we're back here again, huh? In the first movie, I was like, okay. Like, I get it.
And
You're
that was
committed to this. It's like when what's his name?
I
Christian.
think that's a weird complaint, though. We're still doing this whole you being this character thing.
It's not a complaint as much as
It's pretentious to me.
I don't know if that either. For me, what it was is, especially looking back, but even in the moment when they showed it again, and I was like, oh, right, that's so jarring. I liked that in Joker 1 because I felt like we were getting this weird one-off. Here's this Joker in an alternate reality, whatever. Like, here's a grounded Joker. That was cool. To get this and know that we're going to this musical thing and knowing that it's a sequel and I was like, it's not good or bad. It was just like one of those things like, oh, right, that was what the source material was. And now we're kind of going to the moon with it a bit in a way I just didn't appreciate. In the same way of like the giant explosion at the end and only Arthur's able to get up. It's like
Goofy shit.
Joker
Because
1 when we
Harvey
were
had half of his face fucked up.
just some scrapes. Joker 1, right?
Well, it's hard to get this.
It left us, and we all, when we did the, not even in review, when we did the reaction
Spoiler-free,
piece
yeah.
back at the old studio, right? It was this whole thing of like, well, was that real or
old
was
studio?
it was this real? Was this fake? Oh my God, did he show up in the apartment? Did he do the thing? Like that worked so well, I thought, for that then to get here and be going and then be like, oh, okay, is Lady Gaga real? How is she getting in here to fuck him in the middle? Okay, well then this, then she's easily. I'm like, what the fuck is going? And then it's like, no, this is all real. And then we're gonna pull all the pins out of the old stuff, so you also know what was going on there. Like, okay.
I would have bet money at the beginning of this film that 2 scenes were
You got
going
a raspberry
to
on your lip. I'm trying to get a little bit out.
There it is.
Thank
I was trying to
you.
do it very casual.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell
That's
if
the
you were doing
international
it
symbol for
No.
raspberry lip. I would have bet money that 2 scenes would have happened by the end of this movie. One, we get a Sixth Sense scene where he looks around and she's not real.
Yeah.
She's been a figment of
I
his
thought for
imagination
sure
the
we were gonna
entire
end up
fucking time because anything she does in this film makes 0 sense, including being able to get in and out and like him being there and all this stuff, whatever.
Especially
And
because they
then
have the lines where she's like, stop taking your meds. And he's like, I've already stopped.
I've
and
already
it's like,
stopped, right?
oh, you've teed this up.
yeah, she's in his head. She's
That
a
would-
figment of his imagination, right? And then I would have bet money that at one point we would have seen a scene with Arkham Asylum on fire and him walking down a hallway with a knife about to kill Mad Eye Moody. Like he had to. I was like, he's got to kill this fucking guy that's been like torturing him the entire time, and we never get that scene.
Anyways, So yeah, he's taking his meds, he's doing the thing. They're walking him down. They're gonna take him over to talk to his counselor, his lawyer or whatever. It's raining. They won't give him an umbrella. He walks into this other part of the hospital, or a different place, a different hospital.
B ward.
Yeah, right. As they walk in, there's a group of singing people in this part of the asylum. He sees
they're singing because they're not as bad. You know what I mean? The real bad guys, they ain't singing. They're all real upset. But these over here, they're not that bad.
These are the people who self-committed themselves. Lady Gaga is there. They walk. Then she comes out and goes, "Hey." And again, they all let him stop. They all let him look. She does this. No one's there. She does that. And then he's like, all right, come on. And again, I was like, clearly she's not real. Because that doesn't make any sense why anybody would allow this to happen.
Right.
But
or react to it at all. Like, not react to it one bit.
And so then they go all the way and they get to the Catherine, what's her name? Catherine Keener. His lawyer, couldn't you give him an umbrella? She throws her coat around him and then she breaks him in. We're going to talk to the psychiatrist. She's going to film you this time. We're starting to set up your defense here for the upcoming trial and all that jazz. They go through and, of course, run through like your split personality, this, that, the other. You know, this is going to be bad. He doesn't give a lot of great answers, but he does like smoking. He gets nickel.
Yeah, and this is another one of those scenes where I was like, oh, cool, we're going to have a great Joaquin moment here where he has to act his ass off and become the Joker for a hot second. Give us a flash of the Joker. And this, he just kind of doesn't answer anything for a while. Yeah, and then we're done.
Exactly. Yeah, then we're done. We go back to the Arkham State Hospital. We jump from... there, they should put light on him, right? And then so we jump to him being in the sun on the outs, holding onto the fence, crouched down, to where they send over some other person from the asylum who's like, they told me the Joker kisses real good. Kiss me. And so he kisses him, and then he reacts, and then they give him...
They fucking did it.
Yeah.
They fucking did it. That was a weird scene.
They give him a smoke since he won't tell jokes anymore, but he'll kiss people, right, or whatever. And so he gets his smoke there. Mad Eye Mooney, a.k.a. Frank from 28 Days Later, says, of course, hey, by the way, I got you into the singing class. Okay, why? Well, you've been good. Plus, I get to go, oh, yeah, you love to sing, too.
Not a thing.
Whatever.
There's no fucking reality where a person in maximum security lockup gets to go just hang out with people.
Would you just not be in solitary confinement if you have this incredible circus of a trial happening?
I don't know, man.
And that again, I think is where this is yes and no, because again, we suspended so much in Joker 1. Because it was it real or was it not? We have an unreliable narrator. This is happening. This is
duh. I didn't even think about that. He did I'm literally aping the plot from Joker 1. It was what this should have been because he just completely imagines Zazie Beetz his life.
Oh, yeah, that he did. Sorry. So then we jump to Joker 2 here, and it's like you're watching this and these are wholly unbelievable scenarios. There is absolutely no fucking way a judge would allow the Joker to defend himself, let alone defend himself in makeup. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, clearly we're in his head now.
Oh,
we're not in his head.
Small town pizza lawyer stuff, Greg.
I couldn't.
I won't allow you to make a mockery of this. And he starts talking in a southern accent. And again, the judge, first off, the dad from the Wonder Years is just like, or not Wonder Years, sorry, Life Goes On. Life Goes On.
Yeah, I was like, not Wonder
Dad from Life Goes On is just allowing us to have, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
You know that I am all about the sanctity of the movie theater. Didn't care about this movie because I needed to stay awake. But I also texted Tim and I said in all caps, why is Joker doing Greg's small town pizza lawyer impression in this movie?
And for 45 minutes. It feels like it never ends.
But to the point where look, it's not, it's to the point where if I were watching that while we were filming, I'd be like, guys, let's take a break. Let's take a 5. And let's take a 5-minute break. And I would have walked over to my actor and be like, hey man, it's not working. That voice is very, very, very hard to watch. And I thought he was going to do it for the first second, fucking with him, and the judge was going to stop. He does it the entire scene, and it goes on so long. And then that other actor who's in the scene is
Puddles?
just Puddles is really putting in a good performance. And then it cuts back to Joaquin Phoenix, and who just shits all over it with this terrible fucking pizza lawyer accent that he's doing.
You guys have better memories than I do. Does he have that accent at all? Is the Joker on the show?
Well, no, but again,
I think he was doing Matlock.
I think it was on purpose of him. He's not the Joker. He was trying, and it was failing. I think that in world he was supposed to be failing there because Harley even's not into it. You know what I mean? And wanting him to show me the fucking real Joker, and it's not. Again, I'm not saying it's great.
Do we ever even see the real Joker in this movie?
But I don't think that's the point.
Yeah.
He's not the Joker. He's not the thing that. He's not the Batman villain, the crown prince of you get what I'm saying.
And I
good
guess
point.
that's my thing of like, again, at the end of Joker 1, I was like, oh, what an interesting interpretation of the character. I never saw that as we've just seen the origin story of the Joker who will one day rival Batman with his fucking purple helicopter.
Right.
Like I knew we weren't going that way. So like this whole thing is answering a question I never asked. You know what I feel like? And I know whatever.
Sure.
How do we feel about them not calling her Harley? Do we have like?
I
any
like that
strong
fine.
feelings?
I thought it was. I mean,
Probably
when they kept
Points.
calling her Lee and all this stuff, but when he's finally like, "Oh, Harleen Quinzel," I was like, "Okay, so it is that. Just call her Lee. That's fine."
Yeah.
I was fine with it. Anyways, though, yeah.
I mean,
so
she's not Harley Quinn, so it doesn't fucking matter, right?
Yes,
Like,
that's true.
she gets the.
she's still a psychiatrist,
She
though.
gets the
so-
makeup. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, they dress her like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, though, so all
I
that
think
happens.
that's why it's so annoying because they do the things, but then it's not the thing.
Which, again, to Tim's point, is the purpose, is the point of it, right? And I understand that. And I think they really were like, hey, we're going to build up toward the end where it's instead of anyone can be Batman, it's anyone can be the Joker,
Anyone
right?
can wear the mask.
Anyone can have the smile. Anyone can have the laugh. And that's,
Everyone can
to a
cook.
degree, very interesting to me. If that was the pitch for this movie, I would agree. I would have been like, oh, that's cool, minus the musical. I would be like, oh, that's an interesting concept of like, yes, we are going to explore kind of what Nolan explored a little bit toward the end of Dark Knight Rises. But in reality, it's this guy that did this thing that inspired this other thing potentially, and the mystery of the Joker, or maybe not. We don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not the point of it. But by the time we get to this ending, I was like, that's not what this movie didn't. It just didn't work. It didn't support that necessarily.
Anyways, so yeah, we got you in the music, whatever. There's probably a scene here that I don't give a shit about.
Lots of scenes.
We jump back. There's probably
There's the
yeah,
shaving scene, the uncomfortable shaving scene.
we've already
passed
blown
that,
past
yeah.
that. Nobody gives a shit.
And he
That-
had a sad face with the blood.
yeah, exactly. Thanks.
He's a sad Joker.
Another raspberry.
You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a berry day, guys.
Yeah, I think we probably in here then had the setup of the thing where the first musical number where we dance around and he's watching. Then Arthur, are you afraid to get in the chair? Like, oh, okay. And then we saw Dent on TV, which is always fun. I was like,
It is, but
that
it's
guy was
also
good.
not. Like, the guy was good. The guy was
DA.
good.
Good
But it's just,
assistant
I would just almost rather they don't even try to make it like the things if it's not going to be the thing.
Right.
It's like Joker, I get it's not the Joker. That's the point of this movie, whether you like that or not. That is the point. But Harley being not Harley in this weird way.
what do you mean by that?
About Harley?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not the character of Harley. Like,
But you mean
like,
because like I said, her name's Harleen Quinzel, but she's not Harley. But like
I'm saying, like-
chat's confused, thinking you're saying they didn't say her name. We
they
know her
said
name.
her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank
like,
you very much.
But yeah, but they called her. But in the same way that like they're calling like Joker's Arthur Fleck. The Joker's not Arthur Fleck.
I'm with you, bro.
In comic book canon, like it's not the comic character. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, and
It's
everything.
not
we
the
kn-
same. Like she's not.
But
his
again, like we
therapist or
knew.
whatever.
I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the whole shtick. I thought of Joker 1, where it was like, okay, cool.
No, totally. I'm right. I get what they're doing. Don't have Harvey Dent then. Just don't do it.
Like as a DA, as the character,
I like
it's
that, though.
confusing.
Is it?
Well, it's we're muddling what we're trying to accomplish here, right? I think it kind of worked in the first movie where he goes and he meets Thomas Wayne and he sees Bruce Wayne
Puts his fingers in. His
and he
mouth.
goes but in that moment we're told by the mother that he's like related to this person, and in that moment
Maybe.
he's not.
I forgot about
and
that.
and that backs up the entire movie where it's like, oh no, this whole movie is not what you think it's supposed to be. It's not a Joker origin story. He's not this thing. It's this character that's been lied to, and I think that has meaning, that has value. But in this one, I just think it's really muddled what they're trying to go for. Like, that is Harvey Dent. We see him with a scar at the end of the movie, right? Like, we're okay. Does he become like? But there's no Batman in this world, so it's just to me.
Oh, he's coming.
Is he?
He's like 10 years old right now, but he'll be there. Don't you
Yeah.
worry.
So it's just a
We're
little.
never getting more from this
God, I
world.
Oh no,
Yeah,
God!
no,
Please,
no,
Jesus
never.
Christ!
It's
If
never
anybody's
not
even
happening.
anticipating, no, but don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
ever go any further.
So yeah, so I mean, to Greg's point, like I just think it's confusing. It's confusing as to what we're trying to accomplish with these
Agreed.
characters.
Anyways, though, so yeah, then we go back after we do the musical number. We go back to the actual music class. We walk in. Of course, this is where Harley and him get to meet and make eyes at each other. Eventually, Mad Eye Moody, aka Frank, for 28 Days Later, sings at a piano because he's so self-absorbed that he just needs this 5 seconds of singing because his life's so sad. He loves Saints Go Marching, as you know. Then again, Joker's able to walk off and have this incredibly long conversation with Harley, where Harley sets up the fact that she's been committed because she set fire to her parents' apartment building. Arthur confesses he killed his mom, which we knew, obviously, but I think it's a funny of like, they keep saying I killed 5 people, but I killed 6 people, you know what I mean? Again, I think another problem for me with this movie is, don't get me wrong, Joker, Arthur was never likable, but you could feel sorry for him at times of where it was going. Whereas this one is just like, no, you're a murderer. Like, and I know you're not a split personality. So what are we doing?
I thoroughly agree. I hate spending time with this character.
Yeah.
And I think for a movie where the character is in every freaking scene, that's tough to get through for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He has zero redeemable qualities. You don't sympathize with him. And candidly, I wouldn't have been, that interested in his fucking trial either. I don't want to spend any time with this person at all. It's just there's nothing there for me to sympathize with or empathize with.
And again, that's the point. Again, I'm not saying I like the point or agree with the point, but like that's why they made the character. They're like, no, you're not supposed to like this character. And that here we are with this fucking
and that's totally
movie.
fair. But as an audience member, we've been trained to have something to see ourselves in or to discuss ourselves in. And I think for the first one, for me, I felt that it was interesting to watch this character who had basically a shit lot in life devolve and spiral downward without me as the audience member being able to reach out and help him, right? Or seeing like that part of yourself that's nihilistic there and not having anyone around you that can say, hey, stop, let's go have a conversation about it. Let's go talk, let's get you some help, right? To me, that's a great place to put your audience in. It's very uncomfortable and it's very deep and it's very like an open wound. But in this, there was just nothing for me. There was nothing for me to be like, that's of some level of value to me in this character. And then the only thing I was even remotely really interested in was like, hey, where's Harley going to be in this? And are they going to burn the world down together? And then she ended up just being this kind of random like fame seeker. And then was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore. And then left, which I know, again, kind of the point of the movie, but it just fell flat for me.
So they have this little quick interchange here and they smoke some cigs.
Did make me want to smoke cigarettes though. Did you want to have it
so
just
good.
get out there?
So good. Give me a
light up
sun
a
dart,
dart.
you know what I mean? Let's
On start.
Anyways, then Arthur, his lawyer, puts him on another interview, which is just a weird choice after murdering the last person who interviewed him. And he half-heartedly tries to put out his version of events, which are parroting what the psychiatrist said in the first part of it. And then this evolves into escalates, I should say, into another musical number here that I kind of, as all of them were very forgettable, but that happens. However, now he's kind of got this fire lit for Harley. So then we're back to they're watching a musical. Arthur, of course, doesn't want to hang out with Harley again, where I'm like, clearly she's not real, right? That the fact that like they're talking in the middle of this, that he's sitting next to her, that they're even able to hold hands or pantomime because Harley doesn't. But when she can't get his attention, she gets up, acts like she's smoking a cigarette. Again, nobody's watching at all in this place. Sets fire to the piano. This causes an evacuation. Again, that's so off the wall. I'm like, clearly this can't be really happening this way, but it is really happening. And they, of course, do a little dance
Fire
number.
burns for so long before anyone reacts. That's why.
The giant fire burns down part of the wing of Arkham. They get outside. They do a whole dance number, hiding from people and lights and kissing and all this stuff. And eventually, they run to the gates where, of course, there's a bunch of reporters who have been waiting because they've been trying to do anything they can with Arthur and his story. The guards yank them down, and I think in a cool cinematography shot, like pull them away into this V away from each other, right?
Yeah, but imagine if that was after a fucking awesome Singing in the Rain style number,
Totally.
which I thought they were going to go to. I was like, oh, it's raining outside. They're going to go Singing in the Rain. It's going to be tap dancing and all this cool shit.
There is tap dancing, just not the way you thought.
He does have one moment of tap dancing.
Jazz club flashback.
Hilariously, it took me out of it though because they have Marlite flooring in that number like ours, the exact flooring, and I was like, "Theirs is so much cleaner than ours." Couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Cool Greg still, shammying it there.
It out.
Anyways, this gets Arthur thrown into solitary confinement. That's all well and good.
And then she comes in and has sex with him.
Yeah, but I forget.
And you're like, clearly he's completely and totally like thinking about this because how would that have even happened?
Well,
at this point, she has checked herself out. You can't just walk into Arkham Asylum, maximum security ring in a fucking solitary confinement unless you pay people.
Well, there's one line where she's like, "I would do anything for you." Which when I watched the first time, I took it as sexual favors. But then now knowing the end of the movie, I was like, "Oh, so just money? Probably she just paid people off to get in there, right?" Because everybody's and Gotham is
Garage
crooked,
and shit,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, she gets in there, and again, I'm like, clearly this isn't real. He's imagining this, but
Yeah,
no,
but like
she wakes him up, and they
You
fuck.
have like a moment in a prison movie or something like that where like someone's like, yeah, like a guard slipped you a cell phone. You're like, that's believable. But someone sliding into a fucking solitary
you.
confinement,
I'm with
it's
you.
like so beyond the realm of grounded reality that this person was trying to.
In the defense of the grounded reality, they set up even in the last movie, like, this is the worst Gotham we have ever seen. Like, everyone's corrupt. Everyone is like not good at what they're doing. Like, even the judges and shit are bad at it. And like it's a different time, different place. So it's like
Garbage men are bad too.
What's up?
The garbage men were bad too.
That's true.
That's a big
Yeah.
part.
All of it, right? I just feel
That
like
part was real
I don't
in
think
New
it's like the most out of the reality of the world that they built with these movies
Fair.
that these things are happening.
It just seemed
but-
a little out of even for that. This
Yeah, I'm
seemed
with
a
Nick.
little
Yeah,
out of left field.
it. Yeah.
Where I was
for
like,
sure.
as a viewer, I was like, for sure, he is completely making this up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then especially with his performance in the sex, I was like, this guy's good at sex.
Hey,
so
whoa,
this has
yeah,
to
this
be.
guy's lasted
This
a real
has to
long
be
time.
I wish I could fuck like
Holy
this.
performance.
shit!
You know what
How
I
did he
mean?
get? It was forever.
I know, right? And
She must have gotten
incredible.
bored. It was so long.
I think she came 3 or 4 times.
She must have.
You know what I mean? I was watching. Anyways, though, that we're moving on. From there, he's feeling on cloud 9, and so it's time to go to court. Yeah, right. And so we go to court for the opening statements or whatever. The only thing he cares about is Lee getting a seat, so he keeps looking back. She eventually comes in. I love when he writes on the paper and shows it. Next time we get Lee a better seat. That was funny. I like that part of it.
Funny.
God, the court stuff, man.
Court, horrible. And you know what?
Oh,
you know
my
what doesn't
Lord.
help? It doesn't help, Tim. I just watched My Cousin Vinny, one of the all-time
Where's the
Best.
They'll do it.
courtroom like movies ever made. And I'm like, man, I gotta go back and watch that movie again.
I legitimately think that this is one of the like worst court in a movie scenes I've ever seen, and it's a good percentage of this movie.
So
and every
much.
time they go back, I'm like, somehow it's getting more bizarre and like less well written. This to me, the court rules and stuff. I'm like, I don't understand court shit. I'm not even a small town pizza lawyer, Greg. I ain't shit. But I was like, this isn't how this works. I don't like it.
Yeah. I forget. Yeah, we talked to you can see the defense mounting here, right? If you only talked to him for how long? 2 hours. It was actually only whatever it was, hour and
89
20 minutes,
minutes.
89
Again,
minutes.
Catherine Keener doing a banger job. That was interesting. I was like, how's she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's actually mounting a good,
But leading into they don't know what's going on, right? And that they'll double down on this multiple personality act. Then that court day is over. He goes back. He mouths off. No, he doesn't mouth off. He instead just gets told by Frank from 28 Days Later, Mad Eye Mooney, that Lee's actually a fucking liar, you know, right? Like, she self-committed, she's rich, she went to
dad's
grad
a
school for
doctor,
psychiatry.
still alive.
Yeah. They live. Blah, blah, blah. So then Lee comes to visit, and they go do the little phone call box thing, but no phone, right? They just talk to each other. And you know, he calls her out on all this. She admits it's true, but then that's entertainment, right? Like, hey, I'm just playing the part here. We're all playing the part in this here film that we're living that we don't know is a film, but it's a film. And yeah, you talked about the top of the thing, but like, I did like the idea that the Joker movie is a Joker movie in there too, made for TV, and it's crap or is it good? But it's probably crap or whatever.
I think that's again, it's interesting. It's just the movie doesn't do it right. Like,
Yeah.
like a
should have
great
seen
idea.
scenes
Just-
from it at some
I was
point.
gonna
I was like,
say-
at some point, we're gonna see scenes of this movie, right?
Who would you have cast?
As the Joker.
As the Joker,
I would have done
as the
Jack
Joker, the
Nicholson.
Joker, and the Joker movie. Oh my God!
Who?
Can you imagine?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that would have been amazing. I would have gone with like Joseph Gordon-Levitt or someone like that.
that'd
Just
be good
just that little pull from the
too.
Nolan universe.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
like
a
that a lot.
hey, remember those movies? Let's
Remember
watch
the good
those
ones?
Remember the good ones? Barry Keoghan. Anyways, but
Keegan.
oh yeah, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan.
yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter taught me.
Why when you say why when you say Barry Keegan does it sound like
Keegan.
Deadpool saying on IKEA furniture?
I don't know.
Keegan.
All my great ideas are stolen by Ryan
That's
Reynolds.
so goddamn true. Fucking pay us, Van City Reynolds.
Anyways, he eventually forgives her with a musical number. They start singing, and then she does the thing from the trailer where she writes with her lipstick the thing, and he leans into it. Very cool.
Love it. Love
Still
it.
very- I like
I
that.
think that shit's great.
Cool
I
shot.
hate
Cool
it.
visual, and it worked in the trailer for me, and it worked in this.
Cool
again,
shot, but you can be like that. They just made that for the fucking trailer.
We're unleashing the Joker here, right?
Yeah.
Because then we go back to court, and they're interviewing
That also
Zazie
where
Beetz.
she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
We're like, "Great, that never comes back ever."
No.
Well, it comes back.
Does it?
Yeah, he calls her out on it. And she
Oh,
says
that's
that's
right.
entertainment again. But anyways, this is where we interview Zazie Beetz on the stand, right? And this is where he breaks from reality again. It goes inward while hearing of all the stuff that was happening, right? And again, a great defense from the Catherine Keegan, right? No, Keener. Thank you. I'm thinking of Barry Keegan. And she's talking about it's like, well, you know, he was in your house, you weren't scared, he didn't kill you, then he went and killed other people. So what different people, right? On TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess so. But anyways, he goes inside himself about this, and when he comes back out again, he's full blown like, fuck it, Judge, I'm firing my lawyer, I want to represent myself. Then he kisses her, like very awkward. The whole thing is fucking insane, right? Then he listens to the news report about it, and then going home or whatever. He probably has another Lady Gaga phone call or some shit. I don't know. And then he represents himself here, right? And then he kicks it off. No, well,
we got the musical number where she shoots him, right?
I'm not even trying to bring in every one of the nonsense musical numbers. I
will say, we were at I saw it as screener, but it was half press, maybe not even half, like maybe a quarter press. Then the rest of it was like just normal people that like waited to go see the screener, like to fill the screener. So packed theater. By the time the movie ended, it was not a packed theater. Every single time, without fail, one of the musical numbers played, more and more people would leave.
I
respect.
It was me and Jen, a couple behind us who would not stop coughing, and they sat like directly behind us. I was so angry. And then like 15 rows back, another couple, and like every time a musical number would start, the couple, I'm like,
That was I that couple? Because that was me every single time. I was like, oh fuck, not another one of these.
Yeah.
I blacked out and like left it out of my mind that this thing was a musical until we got to the next, and then we get to the Sonny and Cher moment. And I was like, oh god, I hate this. I hate it.
And so now he's gonna represent himself, and this is where the judge is like, I looked up case law, and you can dress how you want to dress, so he gets to look like a fucking clown.
You literally can't. He can say whatever he wants at his court. He's a fucking judge. I've watched my cousin Vinny. He gives him so much shit for wearing the suits. You gotta go. Look, time travel rules. You always go. What do you go back to? You go back to the Future rules,
course,
right? With courtroom drama rules, you gotta go with my cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny, man.
That's what it is.
I did the one thing we haven't touched on that I did appreciate in terms of like a little bit of storytelling was the fact that this is the first televised trial. Like, we talk. So I just watched the Menendez thing, and that talks a lot about the OJ thing. So that brings up a lot of talking about So I remember what court TV and what a big deal that was or whatever.
Another amazing example of if you just told me, oh yeah, and then the Joker has to do the first live trial thing and like it shows the cult of personality stuff. I'm like, that's really cool. And then it's like, oh, this movie didn't do it great. Like such a cool idea that really does show like the potential issues that we still have today in an even worse way of like making these people famous. You know what I mean? Like turning it into this pop culture sensation bullshit, like making TV movies about him killing people. Like, it's just so disturbing, like all of it.
And all interesting. It is interesting, just not greatly executed. Yeah.
Is Gary Puddles the first person that gets interviewed, or the only person who gets interviewed?
I don't know. It's the first person he gets interviewed after he becomes. Well, Zazie Beetz gets interviewed.
That's what breaks him out.
Oh, sorry. That's why he goes, I can't do this anymore. You're fired.
Yeah,
or whatever.
So is Puddles the only person that gets interviewed?
I think so. And then he rests after this, right? The defense rests.
Yeah. So Gary Puddles, welcome to the stage. And here's where I'd like to introduce one of our segments. Hit the song, Nick. It's Gotham's finest secret delights. Secrets, delights, secrets, delights. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gotham's finest, aka Secret Delights, a podcast within a podcast within a podcast here on In Review, where we go through all the Batman movies and give you our secret delight. They aren't ranked. They look like this when you list them out. In the 1966 Batman,
is Joey... there parameters for what a secret delight is?
Yeah, I think it'll become pretty clear as you read it, Joey.
I think so, Joey.
Just real quick, I want to give a shout out to Roger, who on the fly tried to like make the lights go fun, but it didn't have it on the set. Just the rest of the room.
Completely honest. I think the lights just broke. I didn't.
In the middle of the show too. Yeah, nothing was happening.
It's been happening, and I thought I was having a seizure.
So anyways, Joey, since you're not briefed on Secret Delights, apparently, the 1966 Batman Secret Delight was from Joey and Gia, Catwoman's Russian costume, and Adam West's small nipples. I believe this might have been Tim reporting back what you and Gia liked at the screener.
Okay.
In the 89 one, it was the Prince soundtrack. It was the Penguins Army and Returns. That was from Tim.
With the little rockets.
For Phantasm, it was the motorcycle designs for Kevin, No for Greg, and Alfred's stash for Andy. Batman Forever, it was Drew Barrymore for Kevin and Andy. Batman and Robin, we have the head boob boobs. Oh, the head boobs from Batman and Robin. Joey and Gia like that. The gorilla dance for Kevin. For Catwoman,
I love that I remember all the things you're saying.
Catwoman, it was the music by Klaus. Nick's ninja suits. Andy Thomas, Face It Death. Training montage Tim. The humor Tim. This is Lucius from. I'm sorry. Lucius is on there as well. This is Batman.
Begins.
Thank you very much. Eric Roberts was our hands down secret delight.
Oh
Of
yeah,
course.
he's my secret delight this season on Dancing with the Stars. Let me tell you what.
National treasure.
JGL and Catwoman's ears, and for Tim, and then Andy's.
Is it also JGL's ears or are those separate?
No, I
separate.
like JGL.
Okay.
See, there's a period there.
Yeah.
Period.
The notes make sense if you read them.
JGL's not an acronym.
The other villains for Tim, Michael Cera for Nick, and the runtime for Andy, and whichever one we're talking about there.
Rises.
No, that's Lego.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And here's where here's why I'm bringing it up. In the Joker, we said Lee Gill's performance as Gary Puddles was our secret delight. And then for the latest Batman film we watched, The Batman, Tim had this shit's like the trailer.
It's just like the trailer, dude. Yeah. This is one of the best times reading a list back and actually understanding and being like, yeah, I stand by all that shit.
For this one, I would once again put out Lee Gill's performance as Gary Puddles.
I will double that and also say, for me, easily, Secret Delight of this movie, Zazie Beetz and Puddles even being back. I didn't expect that. We didn't know that going into this movie as far as I knew. And both of them showing up, and I thought what they added to the movie, I was like, okay, we're trying something here, and they're awesome. So
Yeah, they were very good.
Specifically the Puds, man.
The Puds.
Yeah, I think, and I saw somebody in the chat go through with this, which I thought was interesting. But the performance from Gary Puddles here, I did not think any again of the examinations from Joker / Fleck here work. But to your point, if you're trying to be, he's not the Joker and he's not good at this and he's not funny. I understand what you're pulling at there, but the whole Puddles, your name is Puddles, blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah, I guess for me though, like when you have her, like Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, and you've got Lee Gills, right? That's his name, Lee Gills. Presenting a great scene, but like Joaquin in this particular instance is so bad, that it actually ruins Puddles' performance for me too.
That's
I'm
why
I feel so bad for him.
I was so happy when it stopped, when he just shut the fuck up, Phoenix.
Yeah.
And then it was Puddles going to town and then going into and just monologuing about it. And a powerful monologue and a great monologue. And someone in the chat, as I was calling it earlier, was calling out that this is what they think breaks him from being the
when
Joker
he says, I
in
feel
the
small,
final
you've
scene.
never felt like that. Have you ever felt like
because
small
he can't shake it off and go back to being Joker or whatever he's trying to do.
I think they did a really poor job of showing.
I agree 100%.
I think that I get that was the moment of his transformation of realizing like, oh, that's why I've done all this, because someone made my entire life I felt exactly how I made you feel, and that is his breaking point moment. But I just don't think we saw it.
I agree 100% with you. Anyways, though, so that happens, and then this is also where I might be wrong, but I don't think I am, but correct me if I am. Joker at some point in this talks about the people at Arkham, the fat guards, the whatever, So when he goes home from this is when they beat the fuck out of him in the shower and clean him up and throw him back in there. And then he comes out of there and gets the ride back to work. We skipped where he leads like the revolt and stands on the desk and everybody cheers and the one guy who kissed him comes
Saints
up.
go marching in.
Yeah,
How could we forget?
But after this beatdown and getting thrown in his thing, of course, Arthur hears... as he gets dragged through, everybody flips out that Arthur's been beat up, and then that guy who kissed him comes out and gets choked to death or whatever by Rudy.
Fucking brutal shit, man. Like this, I didn't expect him to die, and I didn't expect him to die the way he did, where it's like off camera, and it was just like, oh fuck, he's gone, and you just hear he's gone. That's it. I was like, shit, fucked up.
It's fucked up, sure, but at this point, I didn't care about any of these people.
Yeah,
you know
at this point, I'm like, kill them
whatever.
all. Let God sort them out.
Yeah, exactly. Where's RoboCop when I need him?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Problems, man.
We are the Joker problem. Remember that? We don't talk enough about Jared Leto and how
really
Tim
don't.
owes him an apology.
Really don't. Why don't you apologize?
I'm sorry,
What's
Jared
wrong?
Leto. I apologize.
I don't think we need to apologize to Jared Leto for anything.
So we go back to court. Oh, and then the defense rested.
And then the bomb goes off.
Well, no, because the defense rests, and then it's a weird, because he rests right after. Yes, okay. So stick with me. Puddles is the last witness from Dent. The state rests. Then Arthur immediately rests. Where everybody's like, that's a fucking weird thing to do. Then they go home. He gets beat up because of what he said. Then it's
Lady Gaga left at this point because he says, I'm not Joker anymore.
No,
right?
we're not there yet, right? If you would just shut the fuck up, all right?
Joey, shut me up.
This is why you do it with notes, and I just do it
way
from
over
up
here. I
here.
can't
You
do
know what I mean? And the
anything.
movie was better up here. All right, Tim. Apologize to me now.
I fucking hate it here.
He never apologizes to me.
Apologize accepted.
Apologize to the Wiener Brothers.
Oh my God.
You.
The Wiener Brothers.
I'm a small wiener. He's big wiener.
I'm big.
Oh, Nick.
I'm big Wiener. He's
Let's not
small.
do-
I'm smaller, but I'm older.
What does that even mean? I'm smaller, but I'm older.
What is it? I mean, what? He's shorter and he's
It's just
older.
a
What are you trying to
statement.
make it into a weird thing about
Yeah,
it?
why you gotta make it thematic?
Why you gotta make it weird all the
Why are you
time?
making
Why you trying to make
thematic?
it deep?
Apologize to us.
I love that I can hear
got
Roger
me.
I'm
laughing.
sorry.
Thank you. I'm
Anyways.
really the one that deserves the apology. Thank you.
So yeah, he goes home, gets the shit beat out of him. Here's the guy die. He wakes up. Then he's brought back to court. This is for closing arguments. He gets up to do his closing argument, and this is where he's like, I was going to yell, but I'm not going to. And the truth is, it's just me. I'm Arthur. There is no Joker. And that's when Lady Gaga gets up and leaves. And she had put on a happy face. She had done like the, Harley Quinn like makeup or whatever. She leaves distraught and upset. Then yeah, the next shot is him on the payphone calling Lady Gaga saying, hey, could you please come? Like it took an hour. They've already got a verdict. You know what I mean? I'd like you to be there. She doesn't answer, but she is at home and she has a gun. It looks like she's going to blow her brains out. And again, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? You're trying to build like, did she blow her head off? I don't give a fuck. I don't care what's happening.
I'm over it.
At no point do I care about anybody in this movie except Gary Puddles. That's the next fucking movie I want.
Let's do the
Puds.
spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, let him rebuild his life. You know what I mean? Do that. Let him run for sanitation council, fix the garbage problem. You know what I mean? People say I'm cuckoo for Puddles. You know what I mean?
Exactly what they said. Cuckoo for puddles.
I don't know why I always looked at Tim being like, can you explain this?
No.
Because we're in the same boat every time.
Joey, give in.
Never.
Give in.
Joey, do you want to be a wiener bro?
No, absolutely not. No, thank you.
All right, fine. Anyways, so they come back to the courtroom, yeah, and the juror gets up to start reading the thing, and guilty, phantom zone, and then bam.
There was a moment here where the head juror, what do they call her? The
four-person.
gets up and she's like, I would now like to read the thing, and she reads so slowly.
Yeah.
And then I remembered, fuck, he has 6 counts against him.
Yep,
And she
me
gets
too.
to 3, and
Me
I'm like,
too.
I'm like, if they go all 6, we get to 5, I'm leaving this fucking movie. This is so fucking boring. And then the explosion goes off. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Random as fuck. It did not like this at all. It just was.
It's such an over the top of the explosion. I'm like, okay, clearly
It
not
didn't
real.
fit the movie, man.
Yeah.
Like this was one of the moments I'm like, where's the budget to this? Like this didn't look good. Felt fucking weird. Like the moment the goofy ass giant explosion goes off, it feels like a superhero movie for just a second. And then after that, it just goes to like they don't know how to deal with the aftermath. And him for so long being the only person in frame. And it's like, we're in a whole fucking courtroom. We just saw there's a ton of people around him. Like it takes like 45 seconds before we see Harvey Dent and the other characters. And I was like, we didn't need to just sit with Arthur this long. Like it was.
Somehow Arthur, even though he's probably
The
took
closest
the
person
worst
to the
of the
explosion,
blast,
yes.
is the one who's the first to get up, the only to get up. His ears are ringing. He stumbles out through the hole into the streets where, of course, thousands had gathered because there's nothing going on in Gotham. You know what I mean? 80s were like this.
It was like TRL.
If you weren't watching Ghostbusters, on a VHS.
Like when the live show would happen, everyone would stand up.
Yeah, you go in the back.
got
You got to
it.
see in sync. What's Joey Fatone's butt look like from behind? You know what I mean?
Sure.
We know. We see through the glass. Joey T. Joey F. Joey F.
Uh-huh.
What's his last name?
Joey T.
Joey
just
T.
'cause we're-
Fatone. Everyone knows that.
Oh,
like James T. Kirk.
The F is
Joey Tony
silent.
Fatone, yeah.
Joey Fatone.
Tony's my middle name. He spells it with an I. Anyways,
Joey Tony for Tony.
Arthur gets to the street and he's covered in dust because we all know what that looks like now after 9/11. And he's wandering around covered in shit. Hey, I had a conversation with somebody on a show about this when we were doing one of these other reviews of like, for real, 9/11 changed how we think explosions look.
I don't want to be here.
It's true. We never would have thought that way. People be covered in dust all the fucking time now.
Oh, man.
I've never been closer to spitting out a drink on the show. How was that always the
Reality
time?
informed our fiction. It's true. It's true. I forget too. There was one thing too. It was criticism for Man of Steel. Again, I'm not doing a weird. Well, I'm doing a weird thing, obviously. But like, I remember criticism for Man of Steel where there were like op-eds of like, we need to stop glorifying what it looked like after 9/11. And I'm not making jokes here because it was everybody covered in the dust and stuff because that's what it would really look like. But this time it was fucking Superman and Zod doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Superman. He kills the guy, right? To save people.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't get a second solo movie. Arthur kills 6 people. Here's another one for you. You know what I mean?
Batman killed a dude. He killed a clown one time in Returns, and they gave him 2 more movies after that.
I mean, do you count him killing the Joker in Batman 89?
I thought about this for a second. No, that was just self-defense. I thought about it for a second.
That was self-defense? What the fuck is the energy right now?
I thought about it.
You're talking about self-defense for some reason I thought you were talking about self-defense for you.
Oh no, for
like
the
you were
Batman.
saying this is like a reaction.
I saw that scene again on Batman Returns. We never actually see the clown die. He puts him down. There's a possibility the guy took the bomb.
Oh,
off
no, he could totally be fine. Totally
he's
be
fine.
safe.
Batman has.
I mean, he's
never
got
killed
guns.
anyone.
He's got machine guns on the Batmobile. You know.
Yeah,
So
that's
like, and he burns that one guy alive. Remember, he's like,
Which one? Which one is it?
He plants the thing in Returns and moves the Batmobile behind the fire blower.
Oh
dude.
yeah. But that
Michael Keaton was ice cold.
That bad motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
Bad motherfucker.
Somebody find Batgirl. Put that out already. I don't believe they had one copy that got deleted. You know what I mean?
There's something on a Dropbox somewhere. We can get that link.
Can you
Someone's
believe
Google
that
Drive.
they deleted that and then put out this?
That would be interesting to see which one was like more entertaining. I bet Batgirl was
I
way
don't-
more
You got
entertaining.
Michael
I don't know.
Keaton in there.
Yeah.
Not a chance that Batgirl's less entertaining than this.
More entertaining than this, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Anyways, Arthur gets out there. Some dude dressed as the Joker runs into him, realizes it's Arthur because, of course, this will be important for the rest of these couple scenes. He's the most famous person in Gotham for sure right now. So maybe when he's stumbling through the streets covered in dust and looks exactly like Arthur Fleck, somebody else would be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But like, no, nobody in Gotham gives a shit because, of course, as Tim says, they're all bad. They're all looking at the ground.
Doesn't everybody give a shit?
You owe me an apology.
No. What you're saying is the opposite of what the film shows.
I chalk this up to just sheer chaos and like nobody.
I'm with you, but I'm sorry. To be clear, I'm not talking about this scene. Let's get to it. He gets grabbed. He gets put in the thing by the Joker and his friend. They drive off on the thing. Just lay the fuck down. Blah blah blah. Okay, and then it's the whole thing of like, oh man, you're a fucking Joker fan, like all the Joker fans of this movie. See you later. Jumps out and runs away and does the same run and is running past the same peep shows. Like, oh, I know where this is going. And then what I'm saying is, we're no longer in Chaos Town.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Gotham where he's walking to his old apartment and he's covered in dust and he's the only one covered in dust on the streets.
Oh,
and everybody else is about their business. The pandemonium from it looked like hours ago did not reach this thing. And I would say enough people would be like, what the fuck? Aren't you that guy? You look like, no.
Yeah, but would you want to point out to the crazy guy who murdered a bunch of people, aren't you that guy? Aren't you like a little bit worried that you are?
Well, here's my thing. It's not
importantly-
even so. I mean, again, the movie's trying to tell me that he's like applauded for this. Like there'd be fans of him on the street, right? Now, if I was there, this is where I become Batman. I just beat the fuck out of him.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Tim, I'm not gonna lie, all right?
Yeah. where are
Every
we
so
going?
often when I walk on the streets, I'm
Your
like,
arms
I
aren't straight.
hope
You're not lying.
I hope I bump into somebody who's like a murderer, so I can fuck him up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Become a hero.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's me, Wiener Bro.
You take your shoes
Wiener
off,
Bro.
right?
On top. No, this guy. I mean, for Fleck, no way. Imagine that. He's walking. I'm like, and he's covered in the dust. I'm like, that's fucking Joker. I'm just goring him like Rhino. Old school ECW days. Just, yeah, you know it. You know what I mean?
We already know he's super skinny, so he can't weigh that much.
I know,
We saw
right?
his cool shoulder blade.
It's cool shoulder blade.
Remember, he's like, "Look at this, I can do this." The whole
I wanna
point of
be a
this
hero,
scene
too.
was nobody could catch him, so we could show those stairs again. Because the stairs,
Yeah, I know.
were,
We had to
we
get
got
to
to
the
get
stairs,
back to the stairs.
And we get to the stairs, and of course, there she is,
Oh.
Lady Gaga. She cut her hair. She didn't blow her brains out. This is often something I think about. You know what I mean? Do I go get a haircut or do I commit suicide? She said, "I'll get the haircut."
Your Sundays must be wild, man. Wild.
Jen's like, "Come outside, play ball with Ben." I'm like, "I gotta get a haircut or
Gun or scissors? You choose.
oh man." Anyways, he
right.
gets up there and he talks.
Andy does this
Like,
with
when
you
did
guys
she have
every-
time to get this haircut?
That's what she literally was like. Oh, and then they cut a scene where she went, "Oh," and
She starts buzzing,
And he's like, oh, you cut your hair. She's like, oh, you gave up on the joke. The story is entertainment. You know what I mean? Turns out she was Italian.
Yeah, of
She-
course.
You know what I mean?
Well, she actually
House
is,
of
I
Gucci,
think.
right?
Yeah.
And so no, he's like, well, no, we can be together. She's like, no, you fucking aren't the Joker. You gave up. Oh no, but what about the baby? It's all entertainment. That's entertainment. And then she walks up the stairs. And then of course the cops pull up right here because they wanted to wait for the perfect time to swoop in to get him. Now again, as we saw in the first movie, Arthur just has to run. There's a lot of stairs. You know what
There's
I mean?
a lot of stairs.
This is one of those things of like you don't even have to be fast.
No. This is like the end of John Wick.
Andy
where that stairs
Cortez.
just keeps going up.
Andy Cortez, you may have beaten me in a foot race, but I officially challenge you to a race up these stairs. So whenever you're ready for that, let me know. All right? Where are they?
New York, I think.
In real life? They shot in New York?
Man, I think so. Maybe. Let me look it
John
up.
Wick stairs?
No, the
these
Joker
stairs.
Yeah,
stairs.
where are these stairs?
Chat, where are
Roger,
the
find out where these stairs are. Because me and Andy are going there. Joker stairs.
West 167th Street, also in the Bronx.
All right, cool. Oh, man. This makes a lot of sense. When you hear the Bronx, what do you think?
I don't know.
J-Lo.
Yeah, Jenny.
Oh.
The Bronx, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say what a lot of people have already said, so it's not.
You don't need
it's not
to. You don't need to,
Yeah, you
Greg.
do. It needs to be said. It needs to be said.
I don't know what he's going to say,
It
Joey. and I'm
needs to be
scared.
said.
Roger, I'm scared.
I'm excited.
I need it.
Frankly.
The super chat calls it. This is becoming the most demonetized video, and it's kind of funny. All right, let's just say it.
Say it.
We mean it respectfully. J-Lo is a very fit woman, right?
Yeah.
A great dumper, as Andy would say.
Yeah.
Probably from climbing stairs like these.
Probably.
You know what I mean? So I'm just putting out there, Tim, maybe everybody in the Bronx looks like this because of this staircase. What do you think?
What do I think?
What do you think, Tim?
What do I think?
What do you think about that completely logical question he just asked you? What's your response to it? Tim is sweating
Same
right
way
now.
to end what you just said. What do you think?
I'm too hot now. I'm too hot to be a wiener boy.
That's okay. You've done your bit for King and Wiener.
For
Joey,
what?
do you want to be a wiener boy?
No.
Tim,
I'm
you wanna
already
be
a movie
wiener
bro.
boy?
I can't take on any other.
Be a wiener boy, Tim.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Oh, my God. If Andy was here, he'd be a wiener boy.
You would be.
Krasenka, that was honestly not bad. You know what I mean? You go say it was
Shit, Watto's here.
Oh, so they take him into custody. And they take him back to Arkham. And there's a little bit of a time jump, right? Because he's back into the swing of things, being at Arkham, doing his shit, watching TV. Watching Daffy Duck, maybe, were they? I don't remember. But of course, they're
Gets
sitting
a
there
visitor. You got a
watching
visitor?
cartoons. Flecky got a visitor. And he takes his time because, again, no one rushes anybody in this. This is like, honestly, like you were like, oh, man, or one of you was like, oh, this brutal beatdown scene in prison, right? It's like, man, this isn't, if I had to go to a prison in all of cinema, this prison doesn't seem that bad. Now, I know it's a hospital, but you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you
again,
do have to shit and piss into a pot and then clean it out yourself.
but here's
every
the
single
thing.
day.
A lot of people only piss.
I didn't like that.
A lot of people only pissed, it looked like, and there was a lot of piss. I haven't pissed into an empty bucket in a long time. But I don't think I'm putting out that much.
Fine.
I don't think I'm putting out that much in a nightly ritual.
I think you're putting out a lot more than you expect.
Roger, send me home with a bucket.
Got it.
Anyways, yeah, you got a visitor, Mosey's. And then the guy waits, and he's like, literally, the guard treats Arthur like I treat Cole. I'm like, come on, Cole, let's go outside. And then I'm like, Cole, come on. You know what? I'm even more intense than this guard is or whatever. You know what I mean? But while he does that, yeah, this other dude who's been smiling awkwardly in the background and being all weird, he comes over and he's like, hey, Arthur, can I tell you a joke? Yeah, you can tell me a joke or whatever. And it's this long rambling one about a bartender and a psycho. And you know where it's going as soon as he starts talking, right? And basically it is, that there's a clown in the bar, psycho in the bar. What can I get you? You get what you fucking deserve. And he shanks me. And I was like, oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, no. And then we have the flashback to when Lady Gaga shot him in the thing. He's like, oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, no. Blah, blah. And he falls down and he lays there and he looks at the camera. And in the background, you see and we had a little bit more of this of the guy who stabbed him, like being all funny and laughing and then sinking down. And then he starts doing a little bit of Joker laughs. But then he does, how'd I get these scars? And cuts his mouth like the Joker. And it's like, oh, he's the Joker now. And
He's the real Joker.
And then Barry Keoghan says, "What the fuck?"
Like,
So
we
we're
had
gonna
a
get my
fucking
lawyers on
agreement
TV.
here. I'm the one making the jokes now. I've seen a lot of people on the internet, and I fucking hate the internet sometimes. I
Oh
get
my
it.
God,
It's
don't get me
so much
started.
have you seen all this stuff?
Langley M. Neely? Yeah.
It's
I just see him out there every day. I'm like, get away. You know what I mean? Get away from my house. I put the lamb's blood above the door. Stay back, Langley.
people are implying that this is Heath Ledger's, the actual
Oh,
origin
fuck
of Heath
those
Ledger. And I'm
people.
like,
I hate
no,
that shit.
Harvey Dent's in this fucking movie, and it's the totally wrong time period, you morons. It bothers me, Nick. I'm sorry, but irrationally angry
You should be
about
bothered
that.
by
Thank you. And that's it. Directed by Todd Phillips.
Dude, as soon as it popped, Jen did one of these. And I've Googled it. Let's go.
Let's go.
There's nothing. There's no credits. Let's go.
That's life.
That's live.
There we go.
That's Joker, everybody.
Can you fucking believe that we got an R-rated Joker duology?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Penguin miniseries that's better.
Way better.
Like, I can't
believe
fucking
that.
believe it.
So much more interesting and tense and better in every single way. And shout out to Colin Farrell. Shout out to
Colin
Kristen Milioti and
Shout out,
the entire
man.
cast.
All of them.
Fucking great. Go watch Penguin. That's a really good show. Let's
Watch-
watch that. Let's get everyone to watch that so we get like a couple more seasons of that because that'd be cool.
Watch the Penguin, everybody. Now, everyone, it is in fact time for some podcast, Greg. I don't know where you.
We
what
have
do
two
got?
more podcasts within a podcast, so everybody strap in. Nick, hit me with that beat.
Ba-dum, bam, 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 bam.
Ragu.
Ba-dum, bam, 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 bam.
Bagu. Wicka, a.k.a. Ragu Rogue. This is the Batman's Rogue Gallery,
Yes,
where
it
we
is.
rank the rogues of the Batman's Rogue
it
movie
is.
galleries. It's the bad guys from the Batman movies. So first you have to decide, in Joker, Folie, Deux, who's the bad guy? Is the Joker again?
Society, I guess.
No, last time. So right now,
Always society.
Right now, here's how
if
the
it's a
list-
real
Always
movie, it's society.
here's how.
We're
let's-
the bad
hit-
guy.
Oh,
We live in a
Is
society.
How about a reach around? Remember that? That was a Joker you could set your watch to, but we all wanted to sell him up the river. I think you owe him an apology.
Dear Mr. Leto.
Number one currently on our list is Joker and Two-Face from The Dark Knight. Number two is Joker from The Joker. Number three is Joker from Batman
Is the
89.
Joker from the Joker that high?
We liked that movie at the time. Or when
I
we did
still
this,
like
yeah.
that movie.
I like that movie, yeah.
Huh.
He's a good bad guy, right? When we're really in his head. Usually when we get villains, we're like, oh, what do they want? Why are they doing this? And Arthur just wanted to make the world happy because they called them happy, which I totally fucking forgot until that came on. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, the mom from 6 Feet Under.
Yeah. Roz and Scarecrow from Begins are at number 4. The Riddler from The Batman is at number 5. Bane from Dark Knight Rises is at 6. 7 is Phantasm from, Joker and Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm. Number 8 is Batman Returns Max.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed as Batman?
Penguin and Catwoman all in there to
I'm a
do
little
it.
slow on the uptake today.
No,
I'm a little slow on the uptake.
oh, you killed it. You were great. What are you talking about?
Timing's
That's
off.
some good Wiener Brother move there, you know?
Small
You've
for
always
short.
been good at making Wiener Brother moves.
Thanks, brother.
Number 9, we just put Batman and Robin. We were just so upset. We just put Batman and Robin and moved away.
Yeah.
Number 10,
That's
Batman.
upsetting to me.
I know. Number 10 is Batman Forever, Riddler and Two-Face. Number 11 is the Joker from Lego Batman. And number 12 is the 1966 Catwoman, Riddler, Joker, and Penguin.
I want to nominate Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
I think that.
Oh, no!
Yeah, we got a Michael Bay.
That shifts everything.
We got
that
a
he's
Mi-
number 1 on this
No,
list.
no.
we got a Michael Bay.
Yeah, we're Michael Baying him for
We got
this.
a Michael
I
Bay.
feel like we put him at the
No.
I don't
Oh,
know if
no.
it's bottom.
I do.
I don't think there's a
I mean, you
single.
gotta vote
I don't
number
think there's
one.
a single movie on this list that I would rather watch less than watching this movie again. I think I got to put it as number 1. I think we're coming.
Number
I think
one,
we're very
that's-
emotional. We're very emotional
Yeah.
right now.
The
We're
way
talking
we
with our
normally do the
feelings.
Ragu-Bagu, he would be last. He wouldn't be
Oh,
first.
right, because it's the best one first and the
I mean,
worst one last.
he's very villainous here.
Yeah, but he's not good at it, though.
Did we enjoy it though?
Yeah.
'Cause I
Oh.
enjoyed Heath Ledger. I enjoyed Joker as being a Batman. I thought it was interesting. What Tim's saying is this list is the opposite, where if he's
Okay.
the worst possible thing ever, we got to put him at the end.
I like that. Okay, fine.
Thanks. But make a note of that, please. Be like, hey, FYI, this is because he's really bad, not really good. According to Tim, because of Tim. Also, we were the Wiener Boys for this episode. Remember that. So if
Remember that.
So if there is a number 3, we have to wear the same matching sweaters as the Wiener Brothers. I'm sorry, it's Wiener Brothers, not Wiener Boys.
I like that Greg is just verbatim
He-
writing
yeah,
down
yeah, yeah.
everything
He went to
you're
Mizzou.
saying.
He's a good typer.
Oh, God. All right, so there we have it. We are putting it, I guess, last.
Dead
Todd
last,
Phillips.
yes.
Yeah.
It's that. And I believe we have one more left to do.
Yes.
So now at number 13 is Todd Phillips in The Joker 2, parentheses FYI. This is because he's really bad, not really good, according to Tim. Also, we were Weeder boys in this, so if there's ever a number 30, we have to be Weeder brothers, or bros. I'm sorry, it was Weeder bros, not Weeder boys.
Good.
Still
Good.
got it.
You still got it. You still,
I can't wait
hasn't
till
been on
you
an
guys
interview
do
in a while.
another one, and Andy's like, "What happened?"
And
Andy.
now it's time for our final podcast within a podcast. Nick hit the song for Joker's Wild.
Oh, it's Joker's wild. There must be some Jokers in the atmosphere. It's wild.
It's wild out here. There must be some Jokers in the
atmosphere. I said, boo.
That was the sound I was not expecting to come out of your mouth.
Number 1 on Joker's Wild is Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. Number 2 is Joaquin Phoenix on The Joker. Number 3 is Jack Nicholson in 89. Number 4 is Mark Hamill in Phantasm. Number 4 is the Joker in 66 Batman. Number 6 is the Joker in Lego Batman. And number 7 is Dude from Eternals in The Batman.
The Coogans.
Barry Coogan.
I mean, there is no Joker in this movie, right?
Yeah,
There's
there has
two.
to be.
Or not. According to Tim, he was
He
never
says he's
the Joker.
not the Joker.
It's got to be Joaquin Phoenix, or however you spelled it there.
Yeah, I mean,
I nailed it.
I know, it's funny.
I need to rewatch the Batman.
Okay.
That's all I
Yeah.
got for you.
Okay.
I watched the Penguin. I'm like, I need to rewatch this shit.
I
But
put it dead last.
I
is my
don't
vote.
remember Barry Keegan's Joker. I remember us kind of just being like, oh, we
He's
didn't
in it for like
really
5
need
seconds,
that,
that's way
whatever.
We
over.
took a paperclip.
I don't even remember the paper clip.
Oh, it's going to come into play. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Batman 2, all these papers going to fall, and he's going to go, joke's on you, coppers.
Which one was Woody Harrelson in the post-credit scene?
That was Venom.
Oh,
He was Carnage.
also I was getting them confused.
Hey, Woody Harrelson, he'd be a good Joker.
I'm okay with last.
Dead
one.
last. Thank you, everybody. There you go.
And now it's time to rank the Batman movies. Unfortunately, Andrew Cortez is not here, so he wasn't able to make the visual for this. So I'm gonna need everyone to listen and strap in.
Listen's good.
Christ.
At number 1, we have The Dark Knight.
I mean, there's no way this isn't dead last.
Though there is.
Oh, okay.
There definitely is.
Okay.
I'm gonna be really upset if it's not. If it ends up last.
Okay.
I think you just influenced the votes, and I think you have to toss out your vote then.
I do too.
Number 1, The Dark Knight.
Election front.
Election.
Number
tampering.
2, Batman Begins. Number 3, The Dark Knight Rises.
Bullshit.
Number 4, The Batman. Number 5, Batman 1989. Number 6, Lego Batman. Number 7, Joker 1. Number 8, Mask of the Phantasm. Number 9, Batman Returns. Number 10, Batman Forever. Number 11, Batman and Robin.
Such a bullshit list.
Number 12, Batman 66. And number 13,
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
I would personally vote that this goes.
Thank
at-
you, Raj.
Thank you. You are the best.
I've been
This-
telling you guys we could get rid of Andy if we wanted.
This goes. I put it at number 12, above 66 and above Catwoman.
See, now I think I know a little bit at least where you were going with your Madam Web stuff earlier, maybe. Where I would put this below Catwoman, because Catwoman was so bad, it was like, I can't believe what I'm watching. This is like funny, entertaining bad. Whereas Joker last night was, can it just fucking end? I want to go home bad.
This is boring bad, not fun bad.
Yeah. So you're saying, where are you putting it?
Unfortunately, I would put it last year. I think Joey's last.
Just making sure.
I mean, it feels weird to vote because I guess I've watched a lot of these. I think Catwoman's the only one I didn't watch.
Oh.
Um,
That's a tough one for this. Then that is that is kind of what we're comparing
Votes
to.
count.
but I like fun bad movies, and I know.
I mean, wait. Let's
and-
stop for a second because I just had a moment of that ping of how bad Catwoman was, and I do remember being like, God, I want this to
It has
end as
moments
well.
that are
How
all
long is
timers,
it?
but it's I don't know, but it feels like it's like
That's
10
a great
years
question.
long.
Okay, so if Catwoman's shorter, you must have quit.
Shorter.
If Catwoman is
Catwoman's 1,000% shorter
if
than
it has
Joker
a less
2.
of a runtime, then we're good.
there
It's
you
not
go.
2 hours and 20 minutes. We're good.
1 hour and 44
Yeah.
minutes.
Done. Winner.
which means it's gonna win in my books. That's my tiebreaker.
All right, there you go.
There we go. This is an atrocity. I'm letting everybody know. But
Oh, wow.
at
What a surprise. The guy who doesn't apologize hates things.
number 14,
What will
we
I
have
do?
Joker. I'm not even going to try to spell this right.
That's fine. Folie on us.
Joker, Folie Ado.
FOLEYUHDO.
There we go, everybody. Like I said, We're doing The Shining in review starting next week. It'll be The Shining followed by Doctor Sleep, which I'm just so interested in, like how they're related. Like
Have you never seen them?
No, I've never seen either.
Oh wow, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, really excited. I love Ewan McGregor.
I think you're actually really gonna like these movies.
It's also Rebecca Ferguson.
Do you know what The Shining?
Oh, really?
And maybe one of my favorite Rebecca Ferguson's.
Question for you. Do you know what The Shining is?
Yeah, I mean, I know what it is. I've never seen it though.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Ready Player One.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
They both have the Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, there's a whole thing. Like half the movie of Ready Player One is just The Shining.
Oh, that's right.
I wouldn't know that because I haven't seen The Shining, but they make it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below if you're excited for The Shining and what
Just
you
like
think
when
of Joker
you
2.
watch like Simpson and the Family Guys, you're like, oh, I know. What the
Kind
original
of, but
thing
it's
is.
like Ready Player One. Like they actually like recreate the movie. You saw Ready Player One, right?
I blocked most of it out of my brain though.
It's a whole thing. Let us know in the comments below if you saw Ready Player One, what you thought about that movie. Until next time, have a
Hilarious day.
Build a mountain.
build a mountain.
Oh my god,
From a hill.
I forgot about
We're gonna
that
build
shit.